For the longest time, I thought networking meant showing up at every event you could possibly attend, putting your business card in everyone's hands, taking theirs in exchange, and then I really wasn't sure what to do next. For a lot of people, the follow up is the challenge. I meet somebody at an event and we have a brief but good conversation. Now, I try to get in touch. I try to schedule an appointment, and it's a day or two after the event. And quite frankly, people are busy and they may or may not be interested in meeting with you as a follow up. So here's what I've learned kind of the hard way, but I want to share with you a few ideas about how to maximize your networking success. Because when you, first of all, don't have a great way to introduce yourself, people forget who you are. And I saw this happen at an event recently. Two people, same introduction. Well, they were in the same business. Let me put it that way. Their introductions were not the same, but I overheard them talking to the same individual about 10 minutes apart. And the first person talked about their business in a way that wasn't quite memorable, something about they were an accounting professional, they helped with taxes. First of all, avoid the word help. Nobody wants your help, right? The last time you checked into a store, we'll just pick on Macy's, for example, and the clerk said to you, "Can I help you?" You said, "No, I'm just looking." So that word help triggers something inside us. So avoid using that word. But then the other thing that the first person did was they just kind of droned on about their business, not being specific. The second person, well, this was what they said. "I help busy teams stop losing leads after hours. If someone fills out your form at 9 p.m., I make sure they get a response before they find your competitor." Now, isn't that something, if you want leads, you'd like to have happen in your business? Well, that's the idea. You want to create your intro so that it's memorable and sets yourself apart from your competition. Again, that's what most people don't do. The next thing you want to do when somebody says, "Gee, that sounds really interesting. I'd like to know more," schedule that appointment in the moment. And if you don't have a scheduling system on your phone or a link to a scheduling system, I want to encourage you to bring your paper calendar with you so you have it and you can schedule that, or find a system that works for you so that when someone says, "Gosh, I'd like to learn more about you, what you do." Hey, great. I'd love to schedule a time to stop by your office or grab coffee, whatever it is that makes sense for you. And you schedule it right then and there. I can't tell you how many people I've tried to track down with no success, even though in the moment at the networking event, they said, "Yeah, let's get together after. I'd love to know more." Avoid that problem. Then, one other tip is on the business card of the person, chat, you write down what you chatted about or make a note, write down. Avoid relying on your memory. Memories are faulty, and I may forget something that I wanted to remember about this person if I don't write it down in the moment. So making a note, again, maybe using your phone, there's a note field, or the back of their card. Ask permission first. That is important. Would you mind if I made a note on your card? Because for some, that can be off putting, or in some cultures, that's even offensive. So just be aware. And then have the meeting. Again, create a plan for follow up. Ask the question, what's the best next step for us to take if the meeting goes in your favor or their favor? So, what I have come to believe is you don't need a bigger network and you don't need to go to hundreds of networking events. What you need is a system to make yourself memorable and follow up. I'd love to hear from you. If you have a trick that's helped you expand your network and grow your business, please comment below. Of course, if you know somebody that could use this video, feel free to share it. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel.